What's going on, my trainer club? We have the Mewtwo with the Shadow Ball coming to EX Raid, so I'm going to make sure you know the 100% IVs and the top counters because they do change when Mewtwo has a ghost move. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go! Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, do you have an EX Raid and are you stoked to try to get a shiny Shadow Ball Mewtwo? One of the best moves in the game for the Mewtwo, but the Psy Strike is also super powerful. So we will check out a video that's going to go over all of the details, but today we're going to make sure that you know the top counters because, like I said in the intro, the counters will change because Shadow Ball completely changes up who you can use against this Mewtwo because Ghost is going to be weak against Ghost and strong against Ghost. So you don't want to bring Ghost to counters into this Mewtwo when that Shadow Ball is going to hit so hard. So before we get into it, I just want to let you guys know the 100% IVs just as a reminder. 2387 under normal conditions, and then when it is weather boosted, which is going to be in the windy weather, it is going to be a 2984. So that's at level 25. So those are the two to look out for when you are in there. And just a pointer that the windy weather will boost the psychic move. So the Mewtwo is not a stab effectiveness for the Ghost. However, the Ghost attack Shadow Ball is very powerful. And since Mewtwo's attack stats are so high, it does a ton of damage, which means we have to be careful of what we are going to go for. Because since Mewtwo is a psychic Pokemon, as we do know and we've seen in my other counter guide, he is going to be weak to Bug, Dark, and Ghost, right? So you're going to want to use Ghost moves, but since he has a Ghost move, he's going to be strong against your Ghost move Pokemon. So something like a Gengar that was a pretty high counter is now going to get smashed. Completely smashed by the Shadow Ball move, especially since it's a 2-bar special. It's going to be going off very frequently and it's going to be taking out these Ghost Pokemon. Just to forewarn you guys, I believe that this Mewtwo with the Shadow Ball is only going to have Shadow Ball in the EX raids, meaning when you're facing it, the only special it's going to get is the Shadow Ball. However, I would make sure to check out my other counter guide that goes over every single other move that Mewtwo could have, which includes the Flamethrower, the Ice Beam, the Focus Blast, the Hyper Beam, anything that it could potentially have. You want to check that out because if it does have those moves, it could be a potential different lineup. And I don't want to cover all of it here. I want to stick to the concept of if Mewtwo has Shadow Ball and if only Mewtwo is using Shadow Ball because I did not cover that in my other video. So like I said, Ghost is going to be weak to Ghost. So what we want to focus on is the Pokemon with the dark moves. The dark moves are going to include the Tyranitar with the Bite Crunch combination, which is going to sit as my #1 attacker because it is going to be effective, really effective against the Mewtwo, and it is not going to be weak to the Ghost Shadow Ball move. So Tyranitar sits in there as #1 for me, but you do have to realize if Mewtwo can get Focus Blast, this is going to be a slight problem. If it has a huge move pool of all of its moves, this is going to be a problem. But if it only has the Shadow Ball, which I am kind of anticipating, we will only know today, but I want to make this video for you guys. You have 2 different homework assignments. #1, be prepped that Mewtwo only has Shadow Ball, meaning you're going to have a party full of dark attackers. And if it does have other attackers, you're going to have to check out my other counter guide that's going to help you guys set up for this. Which then brings us to Weavile with Feint Attack and Foul Play, and we have the Houndoom with Snarl and Foul Play as well. Those are going to be the dark attackers. And then don't forget, you can always use the Raikou since it does have Shadow Ball. Ghost on the Psychic is going to make it weak, with the Thunder Shock is the quick move. However, it's not stab effectiveness, meaning it's an electric Pokemon with the Ghost move, so it's not going to have that extra boost, but it is a pretty good attacker, so it's definitely a viable option for you if you have a second charge move unlocked on your Raikou. And then you can use the Absol with the Snarl and the Dark Pulse as well. And then you can use the Pinsir with the Bug Bite and the X-Scissor. Or you can use the Yanmega, which we just saw a plentiful boost during the Shiny of the Montreal with the Bug Bite, Bug Buzz combination. And all the other counters that we would typically use, like Alakazam, we even have like the Drift Blim on here. We have all of the other ghosted counters like Guillotine Origin Form, right? All these guys cannot be used if it only has the Shadow Ball. So here's what my parties would look like for you guys. I have my #1 party filled primarily with T-Tars. I have 6 maxed out Bite Crunch T-Tars along with some Smackdown Stone Edges. If you have a Smackdown Stone Edge T-Tar, do not TM away the Smackdown. You want to have a separate T-Tar that has that. If you only have the Smackdown ones and you don't have enough, just change the Stone Edge into the Crunch. And although that the Smackdown is not going to be doing damage to the Mewtwo, it's going to charge up the Crunch quite frequently. And since it's a 3-bar special, you're going to be able to do a lot of them. The other ones, you can then drop in the Weavile, the Houndoom, and that's as far down as I would go, but if you need to, you can throw in some bug Pokemon, but the T-Tar is gonna be your best bet option. So that's if it's only Shadow Ball, that's the moveset. The only thing that T-Tar could then become weak to would be if Mewtwo has a larger move pool to pull from and it has Focus Blast. T-Tar is double weak to fighting, so you cannot use T-Tar if it has a fighting move. So the second party we're gonna look at is, just to be sure, I would just have this set up, but typically you're gonna have a big party. This is gonna be the party that's basically gonna be everything else, right? The only move that's gonna be slightly problematic is gonna be the Ice Beam, because Giratina Origin Form is a dragon Pokemon that is weak to ice. So the T-Tar party is going to be the safest unless Mewtwo can get Focus Blast. However, if you wanna set up a second party, what it can look like is like, I would put in 2 T-Tars, and then I would follow that by a bunch of Ghost Pokemon. Reason why is because if it can get more than just the Shadow Ball, the Ghost Pokemon, especially Giratina Origin Form and the Gengar, are going to be a higher DPS option and a better overall attacker in specific to Origin Form than the T-Tar. The T-Tar is a little bit tankier, a little bit less as far as the damage overall. So you want to have 2 T-Tars followed by Giratina Origin Forms and then Ghost, maybe Gengar, or in specific a Mewtwo with the Shadow Ball, right? So it can be 2 T-Tars, 2 Origin Forms, 2 Mewtwo's. The reason why I would do that is because then, if the Mewtwo gets something besides Shadow Ball, you can switch to a heavier duty attacking team and be able to do more damage quicker, to be able to get you more balls, to take down the Mewtwo quicker. But I would definitely recommend checking out my other guide, because the ice moves, if he ends up getting a pool with the Ice Beam, it will make the Giratina Origin Form weak because it's Dragon Ghost, right? So you have to take that into account as well, which is why in this other party, it might be like the fail-safe party, and then the third party setup is gonna be prepared for Ice Beam, which I would put a Tyranitar always in the first spot, just to make sure if it does have Shadow Ball, it's not gonna knock this Pokemon completely out. And then you can always back out and be like, okay, it's got Shadow Ball, I'm gonna back out, I'm gonna go with my complete T-Tar party. That's why you need 3 parties. And then it's gonna be followed up by 2 Mewtwo's with the Shadow Ball, and then it's gonna be followed up by any other Ghost Pokemon except the Origin Form, since it's a Dragon Pokemon. So that's the Ice Beam party. So that's why I suggest we have 3 parties until we know better. If it only has Shadow Ball, is all you need to do is gonna be that first party. If it has a different set of movesets, we need to worry about these first 2, but since it's the first day, I will drop in the comments below. So make sure to come back, check this video when you're getting prepped for round 2 EX raids, which is gonna be on the 12th. If you guys checked out my videos, if you didn't, you wanna check them out up here. How to make sure you secure your EX passes every week. One is gonna be a strategy for making gyms pop EX raids, which is what some people were confused about. The other one, I answer questions, which is basically, how do I get EX passes without having to worry about a strategy to make sure I guarantee my group and my gym to distribute an EX pass. And then don't forget, you can always invite an ultra or a best friend to the EX raids. You do not want to leave this out. So let's say I have a raid at 1, my friend has a raid at 2 at a different gym. I could invite that friend to this gym, they could come here, do this raid, and then they could invite me to that other raid, and I could do 2 EX gyms in one day. That's how you see people that have a couple passes per day. It's because they invited friends back and forth to gyms. So that's a definite strategy that you wanna do. You wanna try to get as many of these as you can. I'm gonna be coming out with an updated excellent throw tutorial to make sure you guys catch it, because the updated catch ratio is a 2%, so it's pretty low, guys. It's not gonna be super high. Obviously, if you get the shiny, it's 100% catch rate, so use a Pineapple Berry. But if you don't, you still absolutely must catch these guys, because it's a legacy moveset. And like we saw in the first EX raids, it took us over a year for us to even see this legacy moveset, and everybody's were becoming scarce. So you want to catch these guys, you want to favorite them, you want to lucky trade them at some point with people that do not have them, because it's valuable. It's a really good moveset. Mewtwo is super powerful and it does a ton of damage. So that's the strategy I would make sure that you guys do. Catch them, invite your friends, have your counter set up. As soon as we know what the moveset pool is, I'm gonna update it in the comments below. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in, all my likers, commenters, and subscribers, and my sharers. It helps out a lot. We hit 60K, we are on the road to 70K now. I super appreciate all my Patreon members for taking their subscriptions to the next level. I'm gonna see you out on the next video. Peace. I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.